Hi there, welcome to this relaxation yoga class where we'll be focusing on tension release, stress release, being present with the body and getting into some deep stretches. I'm going to start on the yoga mat at the top in mountain pose. Arms by your sides, spreading your toes like monster munch. Rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine. It's a strong position, okay? Shoulder blades back. I just want you to take a moment to be present with how the environment feels. Any sounds in the background, birds, cars. Soft knees. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Making sure you're using the diaphragm. Slowly exhale through the mouth. Good. Another one. This is a strong pause. Should have tension from head to toe. Coming down into Uttanasana, hips come back, bending at the knees, curving at the spine. Relax the neck. You might, if it feels good, sway from left to right. Notice any tension in the hips, back of the hamstrings, which is the back of the legs. Relax your neck. Bending more at the knee, hands come to the floor, left leg back into 8-point salute. Hands into prayer. Your next inhale, boxing, framing the foot, then the leg comes back into Kumbhakasana. Plank position, deep breaths. Option is to put your knees down. Chaturanga, chest to floor, hips stay high. Or you can come onto the floor however feels comfortable for you. Sun salutations are warming up the body. I'm going to go down into child's pose. Hips pushed back. You've always got the option to go back into child's pose, but next time we'll be going into downward dog. Cow position, right foot comes back, boxes the hands, left foot joins, Uttanasana, bending at the knee to rise. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to start on the right foot coming back this time. This is increases the heart rate so we can get into those deep stretches. So Uttanasana, coming down. Hands either side, right foot comes back, planting that knee on the floor, hands in prayer is the option for progression. Chest proud. Framing the foot, Kumbhakasana plank, rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine. Option, knees on the floor for Chaturanga, chest to floor. Untucking the toes. Deep breaths. One more deep breath. Tucking the toes under, send them hips to the sky. Downward dog. Don't worry about planting your heels on the floor. Let's paddle those feet out. In Spain it's very hilly, so I'm noticing that my calves are quite tight this morning. And Achilles. Relaxing the neck, having it between the biceps. And looking at your toes. Left leg comes back, help it through if need be. Hands in prayer, planting the back knee. Feeling the stretch in that back leg. The next inhale, right foot joint, Uttanasana. Coming back into mountain pose. That's one round of sun salutations. I'm going to do that once more. Just like that, but you've got the option. I'm going to bring my knee up in from that lunge, the 8-point salute. I'm going to keep my knee just off the floor to get more of a stretch and more tension in those hip flexors, okay? So deep breath. Let's do 2 deep breaths. in mountain. Excellent. Bending the knees, coming down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax the neck. Left leg comes back, 8-point salute. Deep breath. Frame the foot. Kumbhakasana plank. Rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine. Chaturanga. Good. Try and relax that tension in the lower back and the base of the back. Inhale, downward dog. Paddle those feet out if that feels good. Bend more at the knee if you're struggling with downward dog. It's a upper strength move as well. Good. Sending your hips to the sky. Right foot, help it through. Frame it with your hands and hands into prayer. It's a good hip opener, this one. Another deep breath in. Frame the foot, left leg joins the right. Uttanasana, hips to sky. Bending at the knee, standing tall, mountain pose. Last time doing this now. I'm going to go over to the right side. Uttanasana, forward fold. Right leg comes back just off the floor. Prayer position. Deep breaths. Kumbhakasana plank. Chaturanga to cobra. One more. Downward dog. Left leg frame is being framed. Hands into prayer. Right leg joins. Uttanasana. Back to mountain pose. Hands to prayer. And bring the arms up, squeeze the bum cheeks together, and we can shift slightly to a back bend there to extended mountain pose. Good. Hands back into prayer. Excellent. Well done. So those are the sun salutations done. Praising, worshipping the sun. Good pulse raiser. And it's a prerequisite to the guided relaxation and meditation. Next, we're going to make our way onto the mat. So feel free to grab a drink. I was meant to say that. Okay, sitting tall, so you can use a block and shimmy the edge of the block so you're untucking the pelvis, so we don't want to see that. Sitting tall, feet come in. Always remember you're not leading with your neck or your lower back. You're pushing backwards with the hips and however far down you go, if that makes sense. Because I could probably get right down my knees to my toes, probably bending at the back. So the first thing you want to come closer is your belly and then your chest, then your neck, if that makes sense. So we're opening the hips here and the inner thigh, feeling that stretch in the inner groin. Keeping that pelvis untucked. Thing about stretch work, it takes a wee while. It's got to be patient. Good. We're going to extend, so straighten the left leg. Right leg comes over by the left leg knee. Hand for purchase. The other arm comes around the back of you and leading with the shoulders and chest first and last the neck if that feels good. And feel the stretch in your lower back. Good. 2 deep breaths. Just trying to let go of that tension. You might feel this in your glute as well. Let's swap over. Inhale to lengthen, extending the right leg, left leg crosses over. Leading with the chest and shoulders first, and then the neck last. Deep breath. On the exhale, trying to let go of that tension again. Good. This is a good chest opener. It's good for posture. Coming over to a cat-cow position. Let's check in with our body and see how it feels. So untucking the toes from the heels, spine to the floor, to the sky, rocking forwards and backwards in cat. Exhale, inhale to cow. Again. Arms come forward a little bit more. I want to bring our hips down to the floor to cobra. So you do have the option of bending your elbows here. Just notice where you feel the tension. Is at the front of the thigh, the hip flexors, the base of the back, or around the hips? Inhale, back to child's pose, sorry. Got an ant on my mat. This is the counter pose to a back bend. Notice where you exhale, where the tension is. Just letting go. Inhale, moving back over to cobra. Trying to let go. Allow yourself to feel that deep stretch in the base of your back. It shouldn't be painful ever, guys. Inhale, cow, and then child's pose. Your spine is meant to move like this. One more. Cobra. Shoulders down away from ears, elbows bent and into the ribs. I should have said that before. Inhale, back to child's pose. Into another twist next. So we're in the cow. I'm going to bend in the left arm and thread the needle with the right. Notice how that feels. If that feels good, extend that arm on the left side. Making sure you're not pushing into the floor, you're keeping your chest proud. Good. You can extend it further by tucking that arm in your back pocket and using the ground for purchase, keeping upright. Good, beautiful. Another deep breath. Inhale and swap over and see how the other side feels. Just because you did it on one side doesn't mean it's going to feel as good on the other side. So just go where your body's taking you this morning. Extending that arm. Notice where they're feeling tight or stiff. Extending that arm over and tucking in your back pocket. Deep breaths. Okay, back to cow. Gonna bring our feet together, nice and wide with the knees. Hip openers next. Exhale, forehead to floor. Notice the tension in the inner thigh. Forehead to the floor if you're able to. I just want you to sit with that mild discomfort. Good. I want you to think about your breath, nothing else. Bum to heels. I'm craving a bit of a pigeon pose. I don't know about you. These ants are annoying. Okay. So we want our back leg to be in the centre of our mat, and then this is secondary. So ideally, if you're flexible enough in the glute, you'll be in a right angle. But I feel like I'm being pulled out of it. So we want to be in the centre. So whatever that looks for you. I'm just going to sit here. So this opens up the hip flexors as well and stretches the glute nicely. So onto your elbows and try and relax. So switched on straight away was my hip flexors and quads. So I'm just going to relax that and let go. It's more of an uncomfortable stretch in the glute. It's difficult. It's quite difficult. Yeah. Use your breath. If that starts to feel good, forehead to hands or the mat. I'm going to do another hip opener after this. Inhale, so we're untucking this knee, tucking the toes underneath the heel to downward dog. So that leg that we've just been bending with comes into downward dog. Good, three-legged dog, bending the knee back, opening up that side of the hip. Then this right leg that you've just stretched the glute on comes on the outer side of your right hand, planting your knee on the floor. So in this position. I'm going to come onto the, keeping tension first of all in the ankle. I'm going to come onto the side of the foot. You're not dumping in the ankle, it shouldn't be painful, and that'll bring your knee out. Deep breaths. Tucking from, relaxing your foot at the back. And if you can use a block, or you can come down onto your elbows if you're able to. It takes me a wee while to get down. Good. Next inhale, coming back to downward dog. And that right leg comes up for a big stretch to three-legged dog. Then coming back down to downward dog. Over to the left leg next, into pigeon. Bend, foot comes back and sit into pigeon. Excellent. Deep breath. Two more deep breaths. Allow yourself to sink, switch off the muscle that you're aware of that's switched on. Notice where you feel this. Inhale, making your way to downward dog. Left leg that we've just stretched comes into three-legged, bending at the knee. Sending it forward into dragon. Planting that back knee. Good. Untuck those toes on the back. Deep breaths. Keeping tension in the ankle as you rotate, come out, pushing the knee away from the body. Start to sink in. Can you bring both elbows to the floor? Where's the tension staying for you? This is a tough one. Deep breaths. Next inhale, downward dog. And then sending that left leg back up and over. Good. And let's paddle out in downward dog. Notice how our hips feel now. Good. Coming into any seated position that you are comfortable with. And we're going to do some pranayama next. Feel free to grab a drink. So you can use your block to sit on as well. Untucking the pelvis, so sitting tall. So going to rest the backs of our forearms on our knees, shoulders down away from ears. I want you to take a moment with your breath. Notice your environment. What sounds can you hear? How does the room temperature and the air feel to you? Is there any smells? Feel free to close your eyes to help you concentrate more. How does your body feel now? On the next inhale, I want you to start practicing yogic breathing. On the inhale, we're going to push our belly out, and then to follow will be the ribs will expand, and then last the chest. So into 3 stages. So stage 1 is inhale, belly out. Stage 2, rib cage. Stage 3, chest rises. And then we're going to reverse it. 3, 2, 1. So inhale. Pause at the top with full lungs before slowly exhaling through the nose. Again. Notice how your breath feels in your body, cooling on the inhale. The slower you exhale, the more relaxation it is. Keep sitting tall, it does get easier. We're going to practice box breathing. So on the inhale, we're going to inhale for a count of 5, pause for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 5, and pause for a count of 5 before you inhale again. Your own count, whatever feels comfortable for you. On the next 4 exhales, I want you to begin to let go into a humming sound, vibrating your vocal cords, which will stimulate the vagus nerve and kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system, bringing you out of any stress and fight flight. big inhale using the belly to push out. Another 3 like that. Namaste. I hope you found this yoga class relaxing and you benefited from what you needed today. I'll see you in the next class. Thanks for joining me on the mat.